The easiest way to win more games and get more stops on defense in Madden 26 is simply by running a defensive scheme your opponents have never seen before. Luckily for you, in this video, I'm breaking down the complete guide to nickel single mug, including the best glitch blitzes and coverage shows that are going to have you locking down for the rest of the year. You're absolutely not going to miss out on any of the tips and tricks I have for you in this video, so let's jump right into it. Alright, the first thing any great defense needs is the ability to get the quarterback on the ground in a hurry. Let me show you the best glitch blitz you need to be using right now from single mug. Alright, so we're going to come to single mug here. We're going to scroll until we find the Texas 4-man stunt. How you're going to do this is you're going to open any of these plays. I always like Tampa 2. We're going to hold the play call button and we're going to call the Texas 4-man custom stunt. Alright, the setup, you're going to spread your defensive line, so D-pad left and then left stick up, so you're going to spread your D-line. Then you're going to press RB and right stick up to pass commit your defense. The reason why this is so valuable is because, as we know, the most common pass protection type of this game is base protection. So when we go to take the snap, what you're just going to see is time and time again, not only are we going to have guys flying in free, but also, we're just going to be able to do a great job of just collapsing the pocket in a hurry. So again, spread the defensive line, pass commit, and you're just going to see it again right here. So we're going to call base protection, right? And so you're just going to see, boom, take it. Try to get the attention of the center a little bit, but even that time they pick it up a little bit, but they still just have terrible leverage, terrible angles, and we're able to go get the quarterback on the ground in a hurry. So we look at the instant replay right here, boom, get the attention of the center, and then we're just looping through, and we're able to get these guys down on the ground. Now, also, what you're going to notice is that people love to step up in the pocket. Really great offensive players, I love teaching about pocket presence, right? Well, with this particular stunt, you're eliminating their ability to step up in the pocket because the pocket collapses so fast. So again, pass commit the defense, get the attention of that man, and then you're able to just see it. Okay, if they step up, they're just stepping right into a sack, and even if they step up and they block the blitz, they're just stepping right into pressure and stepping up into these wild kind of stunts and twists, all right? But even when they block their halfback, it's going to be a lot of the same thing. So boom, we're going to go just block the running back right here. We're going to spread the defensive line, pass commit, and a lot of the time, one of those guys are going to come in free, and you're able to see how that time Bijan's blocking, but we still get that man to loop in completely free. So that just kind of goes to show you that it doesn't necessarily, blocking your running back isn't necessarily an answer versus blitzes and stunts in this game. It's more of you have to do a much better job of actually blocking with your offensive line more than anything else. But here's the thing. A lot of people, they're going to try to roll out on this stunt, and so really they're just going to take the snap. There's no contain on that side, and so they're just going to be able to roll out. Really though, the way that we're going to counter that is simply by calling the left exit two-man stunt, right? So right here, the left Texas two-man. Now, in this case, I'm actually going to call the right Texas two-man simply because Michael Penix Jr. is left-handed. So you want to make sure that you're able to contain off of the quarterback's handedness side. For most of you, that's going to be the left Texas two-man. But again, since the quarterback here is left-handed, we want to be able to contain him off of that side. But what you're going to notice is they're going to call base protection again, but it's like they're still going to be in trouble, right? We're still just going to be able to loop around that on that right side. In that case, most of the time we'll be on the left side and go get that very quick pressure on the quarterback. So it's like even a two-man stunt, right, is going to be able to do a lot of the same things simply because this is going to obliterate base protection. And then also another great thing about this is when you change it up to the right Texas two-man, in this case, left Texas two-man most of the time, they're just going to think that they can roll out versus the same stunt like they've been doing. But when they actually go to take the snap, you just see how this man is just too far up the field and he's going to easily be able to contain that quarterback, right? So it's just going to look like the same picture of them, but realistically, we're stunting them off of this side, boom, and we're just going to come in free pretty often, or we're just going to be able to contain them when they go to roll out. So really utilizing the Texas 4-man custom stunt to collapse the pocket, and if they start picking up on it, rolling out, doing whatever the counter is that they have, that's when you deploy the left or the right Texas two-man, depending on the quarterback's handedness, and then you just go get the quarterback on the ground in a hurry. All right, the next thing you're going to need to master on defense is actually using the right settings. If you don't use the right settings, your whole defense will come out misaligned, or your zones could not be playing correctly. Let me show you the best settings to use right now from this single mug formation. Alright, and so the best settings that you want to use, I want to highlight one that's very, very important to this scheme, because as I'm going to tell you here in a second, run defense from single mug is not exactly the easiest thing ever. So you want to make sure that you have defensive heat seeker assist on with your heat seeker window size at 100%. This is going to make it a whole lot easier to stop inside runs. Because as you guys that run this defense certainly know, right, single mug has this man mugging the gap. And so really what that just means for them is they can just hand the ball off so easily, right, and just pick up easy yards. Because, I mean, this is just an easy look, right? You just take the ball, hand the ball off to Bijan. He's able to fall forward a lot of time, able to rip off big gains because there's no one standing directly over the center. But really how we're going to fix that is we are going to come into a play like cover 4 quarters. We're going to take this man right here and we're going to move over top of the guard here, 4 yards over the guard halfback side, because now we're just going to try to loop around and shoot the gap. The main reason why heat seeker assist is going to help you out is it's going to help you get that right there, that suction dive tackle. You're basically just going to be jumping through the offensive line and making these easy tackles in the backfield. So we loop all the way around and boom, we dive. And so then we're just able to cut out the legs, or really in this case, the whole body of Bijan, and then he just falls to the ground. Having that heat seeker window size set to 100% is going to really help you out there. But also, if we go ahead and look at the next setting, which is really going to be coaching adjustments here, we need to make sure that we have defensive motion response disabled so our guys aren't following receivers across the play. RPO pass key on conservative so that we can defend RPOs better. Zone drops default 5. Default is probably the best setting that you want to use here. Close pinch for your safeties, all right? If we hop onto the field and I kind of show you this, we're going to have our safety definitely close with our width on pinch just so that they can't hike those seam passes, right? They just try to look up the seam. That pass gets sailed because Harrison Smith is much closer to the line of scrimmage, and it's going to make it a whole lot easier for him to actually be able to defend that pass. We look to the other side of the field, again, just sailed, the pass gets intercepted because our safeties aren't super far back. Instead, they're really close to the line of scrimmage, and it's going to make it a whole lot easier. Also beware though, if they have really fast receivers, you certainly want to move that setting back to default, back those guys up. But then also it's like having your cornerback matchups unbalanced, having defensive motion response disabled. It prevents this from happening, right? Where your defense is essentially going to crisscross and your defense is going to come out like this. Obviously, I'm simulating it by moving these guys, but your whole defense will just come out misaligned when they no huddle or when they motion a receiver. And obviously, we don't want that to happen because that pass is just wide open, especially when you have free-form pass lead increase on small. So it's like, it's just a lot of bad things that can happen when you don't have the best defensive settings, but it really comes down to having that heat seeker assist on so that you can stop the run. Also being able to, have the right settings for alignment, the right settings for zone drops, and overall you're just going to be playing a whole lot better defense single mug once you implement those specific settings. Alright, if you're enjoying this guide to nickel single mug so far in this video, make sure you go down below, hit that subscribe button. I break down defensive tips and tricks just like this every single day. You don't want to miss out on any of the content I have. But if you want this entire guide to nickel single mug in written form for you to save on your phone in your next game, you never have to go surfing through videos, comment the word Volt or go to the link down below in the pinned comment to join Madden University. You're going to get access to my full library of written breakdowns for the month of April and beyond. And the best part is it's only $1 in your first month. Please don't let $1 be the reason you're still struggling to win games here in Madden 26. Join today and let's jump right back into the video. Alright, I kind of touched on it in the last segment, but really the most important thing from single mug is eliminating the offensive strength, which is going to be the run game. Let me show you exactly how to stop the run from this formation, which is assumed to be weak on the ground. Alright, so we're going to come to our coaching adjustments here. We're going to make sure that we have all 3 of these zone drop depths on default. We're going to come into our match coverage base play, cover 4 quarters. Alright, and this was similar to, again, what I showed you in the last segment, but I'm going to go into more detail here. The reason why you want to be 4 yards over the guard on the halfback side is so that you don't get picked up by one of these linemen. Alright, because now you have 5 basically guys over their offensive line, and so that just means that everyone's going to be in a one-on-one, and so that's going to hopefully allow you to just loop around and stop this run in the backfield. So again, you're just going to take it and you're just trying to Superman dive tackle Bijan in the backfield. Again, sometimes, like right here on this play, our defensive line just does a really great job of making this play, right? So these guys are going to do a great job, but you're able to see how if he kept running, I'm diving into him. So you're really just trying to loop all the way around the offensive line or pick a gap. Sometimes the gap never opens up, right? So right here, like, there's really nowhere for me to cut through and dive. So right there, I just read the play and see that I'm going to have to go all the way around to try to meet Bijan at the point of attack or wherever the ball carrier is, and it's going to make it a whole lot easier for me. So I'm just going to read the play again, take the snap. Right here, this is another chance where I have to just loop through, and you're trying to not get caught on alignment. That's why it's important to dive. So because if you just try to run through just what you're doing right now, you're going to get caught. So you see how right here I get caught. Honestly, I didn't loop around far enough. That's probably why I got caught. But it's like you don't want to get caught on alignment. So you're trying to loop all the way around and then dive tackle him by pressing X or pressing square to tackle him in the backfield. So again, boom, take it, loop all the way around, and then dive. Right? And so sometimes he's going to cut back right there, but you're just trying to force him to cut back. A lot of the time, most people aren't going to cut back. They're just going to run right into you. But if you can force him to cut back into the other players on your defense, it's going to be a whole lot easier for you. So again, number 51 is going to get picked up by this center, and so that's going to hopefully allow me to just loop around and make a play. So again, so we're going to take the snap right here, loop around, and we're just going to try to dive. Like right there, I'm able to dive through and cut out the legs of the ball carrier. And so you're just able to see right there how it really doesn't matter. It's the same technique from a lot of different defenses, but this one just looks so appetizing to run on as an offense that you have to be here and you have to practice this gap shooting technique so that you can make this play. Boom, Bijan, dive tackle, right? Force him into other players or he's just going to run right into you every time. So I go through it one last time. We'll see if I can get the play right here. But boom, take it, stand in the right spot right there. Great job, honestly, by me. Dive tackling, and we're able to make that tackle. So really the thing is with this formation is it looks super easy to run on, and if you don't stand in the right spot, loop around and get that dive tackle with your user, they're just going to run right through you because all these guys are accounted for blocking wise. But as soon as you stand in that spot, loop around that offensive line and make the play, it's going to be really easy to stop the run from single mug. Alright, so again, if you're enjoying this breakdown of nickel 3-3 single mug, make sure you go down below, hit that subscribe button. I'm the only one breaking down Madden 26 defensive tips and tricks just like this every single day. You don't want to miss out on any of the content I have. But let's jump right back into the video. And if you load into your next game, I guarantee you're going to have to be able to stop corner routes. Let me show you the best defense to slow those down here from single mug. Alright, so we're going to come right back into cover 4 quarters here. Make sure you have all 3 zone drop depths on default so that your match coverage actually plays correctly. But what we're going to see is when we stand directly right here over the center, this is going to be great defense against these corner routes. Alright, so it really doesn't matter which side they call the corner route to. A lot of the time, it's just going to be the passing strength. So really right here, they could just double corner out you on both sides. But you're just going to see how we're going to do a great job, especially on this right side, taking it. The quarter flat is going to do a great job of taking away Bijan's table route. The outside quarter is going to do a great job of taking the corner out. And then the inside quarter right here is going to take the shriek. So these guys do a great job passing these routes off. Great communication. And we're essentially going to be running the routes for the receivers, right? You're able to see how Kyle Pitts, I mean, there's nowhere for you to throw that ball. There's nowhere for you to throw that ball. Same thing on the other side, too. These guys do a great job of recognizing this, street corner concept, taking that away on the sideline. And essentially, you're just able to easily stop corner routes. And so why is that valuable? Because even if they change it up, even if they call more of like a flood concept, something like this, it's like, okay, spread the defensive line, pass commit the defense. Now, it's going to be the same thing where you user that, you come back over the middle if they're going to attack you over the middle of the field. But the most important thing is actually stopping the corner out. So we take a look at the instant replay right here. This time they flood concept us on this left side here. And so again, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be the same thing every time. These guys are going to do a great job of passing these routes off, defending the over the top. The quarter flat does a great job of taking this route when I leave it, and then I'm able to lurk over the middle of the field. You're going to get some way more interceptions, with this coverage, especially against corner routes, because they're just going to mindlessly throw this pass, not knowing that we're kind of latching onto it and taking it away very, very easily. So, I mean, match coverage, fantastic against, several different route concepts, right? The best thing, my favorite thing about this defense really is it doesn't actually matter what defense they run. You're going to do a great job against these corner routes. It's just going to be a matter of, all right, can you switch stick, right? So right here, I mean, great defense. You see how all of their routes, they had 2 corner routes, they had an angle, they had a return. Match coverage is able to kind of just adapt to their cut to their route concept and, you know, call the perfect play to kind of take it away. So we get some really quick pressure here. We're able to take away all of their routes and no one's open. So really stopping corner routes doesn't have to be complicated. Whether they want to call just bot corner routes or they want to call actual flood concepts, we're going to be able to handle them seamlessly from cover 4 quarters because we're passing the routes off. The most important thing for you, though, is still making sure you're having a good user over the middle of the field to take away other routes they could be building around the corner route. All right, and the last thing I want to break down with this scheme really is the most important part of defense here in Madden 26, actually being able to get adjustments off in a hurry. Let me introduce you to how to quick adjust better. All right, so obviously this is a single mug, video, but honestly, this particular tip can be applied to any defense, any formation, any play in the game, all right? There's going to be times in games where you're going to have to adjust on the fly, right? Maybe I need you to man up their running back. Their running back's beating us out of the backfield time and time again. What you're probably doing is you might start to put on this lineman, click, 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 click. Now, oh, I misclicked. I was on him, but now I'm not. Now I'm on the guy. That just took like 7 clicks, like 4 seconds to do. Now you press A, you press right stick up, you've probably already gotten a quick snap by now. And so it's very important for you to actually be able to make adjustments a whole lot faster on defense. What about if I told you I wanted you to run a cover 3 on the right side? What you're probably having to do clicking around, oh, I get onto the guy, let me look, outside third. All right, I got to click here, put him in inside third, click. Oh, how do I get onto my, oh, now I'm on my linebacker, press A. Like, again, guys, this just takes too long and you're not doing it fast enough. This is why you guys get quick snap. It's why you complain in comment sections you don't have enough time to do that. Yes, you do, if you actually get better with quick adjustments and you're able to do them faster, all right? And so I'm going to help you out here. Pressing Y twice is going to open the secondary adjustment. So, normally most formations have 5 DB. Nickel defense have 5, dime has 6 DBs. Some, 3-4 defenses have like 4 DBs, right? And so you're going to be able to open all of your secondary members by pressing Y twice. Pressing D-pad right twice is going to open your linebackers. Every formation is going to have 1 to 4 linebackers. A lot of time you could have 2 in nickel. And then if you press D-pad left twice, you're going to be able to open the defensive line adjustment. So some formations have 3, some have 5, some might have 6 defensive linemen that you can adjust. So that's how you do those. So remembering that pressing Y twice opens the secondary, pressing D-pad right twice opens the linebackers, and pressing D-pad left twice opens the defensive line. So really what you're going to see is now you can start to chain adjustments up a whole lot faster, and you're just going to be able to build that muscle memory a lot better, right? So again, now if I told you to adjust this to a cover 3 on the right side, now you can just use quick adjustments and it's under 2 seconds. You're not getting quick snap, and the best part is I did it all from one central player. So even if they do quick snap me, I'm not all over the place, right? I'm not clicked onto a random safety. I'm not on my defensive lineman. I'm staying on Cashman the whole time, and I'm ready to go whenever they snap the ball. So really, once you remember the adjustments, those 3 button commands, you have to memorize what buttons actually do what. So if you press, D-pad right twice, then I press A to get into my linebacker, how do I actually put him in a hook curl? How do I put him in a curl flat, right? And so that's the hardest part, honestly, is remembering which buttons do what for every player on defense that you might want to adjust, so that, again, it's second nature. Like for me, I could literally close my eyes and turn this into a cover 3 defense, right? So able to see for me right here, I could literally close my eyes and turn this into a cover 3 defense, just like that on the right side, simply because I know exactly the guys that I need to click onto, and I know exactly what button commands are going to do what when I get clicked onto them. So it's really the most important part of defense, and I feel like it doesn't get talked about enough, because you can master blitzes, you can use the best settings, but if you're not actually able to make adjustments at a rapid pace, you're going to get so far left behind. So again, before I end it off, D-pad left twice is going to be the defensive line, D-pad right twice is going to be the linebackers, and pressing Y or triangle twice, triangle on PlayStation, is obviously going to open the secondary. So master those defensive commands, and you're going to see your adjustment game and your quick snap percentage go way down. All right, so if you found that complete guide to the nickel through 3 single mug formation helpful, make sure you go down below and hit that subscribe button. I break down defensive tips and tricks just like this every single day on Madden 26. You don't want to miss out on any of the content I have. But again, if you want this entire video in written form for you to reference and save on your phone during your next game, and you want access to me in Discord, comment the word VOLT down below, or go to the link in the pinned comment. I'll send you the link to join Madden University. Again, you're going to get your first month for only $1. You're going going to be able to ask me questions in Discord, and you're going to get access to all my written breakdowns. It's really a no-brainer, and I really encourage you to check it out. But if you want to see 5 tips to help you on offense here in Madden 26, check out this video. I'll see you over there. Peace.